All right, let's talk about wrestling.
So you're doing it.
Hey, sir. Right there. He gets a mountain triangle a lot. Defense for that.
Okay.
Biggest thing.
All right. So when you talk about wrestling, you must
Get your toe in there.
understand the rule set that you will be applying your wrestling to. Okay. I'm not a big fan of rules. Neither is the universe. Okay, but to play some of the games that we play, we can't always punch each other straight in the mouth. And so we play games where punching's not allowed. We call that wrestling. Okay? So when we do that, we can make allowances in our posture that we normally couldn't make. What am I talking about? So if a guy is standing in front of me and I'm in a fist fight and I show up in a wrestling stance here, okay, you can see where the problem is going to be here. All right, he'll kick me straight in the mouth.
No idea what it is. Doctors can't explain it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm putting my hand down on purpose. If I go into a grappling match and I stand like this, what am I inviting? I'm going to take it down. Okay? So, we have to account for the rule set that we submitted ourselves to. Alright? I need you to understand that because that means your wrestling must be adjusted. Alright? If I could find something that fit all in posture, I would. But for many years, I played around with weird stances. But we just can't. Okay, the striking portion is significant, so we must account for it. Now, that being said, if I don't adopt this grappling posture, I won't get all the benefits of wrestling that help me in fighting. Does that make sense? Am I playing? It's like 50-50 at this point. All right. I did get it the right way. It's like the very end, apparently. I changed it. All right, so I have to have a wrestling / grappling stance. It is extremely important. Extremely. Alright? Because it's the #1 reason your wrestling will be inconsistent. If you do not have a solid stance, you are taking yourself down. Understand? And taking away the advantage of winning in the wrestling portion of the grappling match. Alright, so what does that mean? Alright. My closest target for a traditional takedown is my lead leg. Okay? So you can have a defensive stance where you can move laterally here, but a more common stance is that staggered stance, which allows me some lateral movement, but it also allows me to move forward and attack. Okay? There are times to do this, but when you come into an opponent, 9 times out of 9.5, you're going to be dealing with a staggered stance. Okay? Does that make sense? So your lead leg is your #1 concern when it comes to wrestling before you make any kind of contact. Okay? So it's so important that if I'm going to commit my lead hand, all right? And there's a couple schools of thought of which hand. For now, we're going to use our lead hand, all right, to block that lead leg. Okay? We have to be disciplined with this. All right? Just because I took this stance and then when I started to interact with my opponent and now I moved my hand, it doesn't matter that I started in that and made Sensei happy when the time started. All right? I have to be disciplined with it, especially if the guy starts really moving on me and he's a good, competent shooter, he's really athletic. Okay? You cannot count on being athletic. You can't do it. Unless you're the most athletic guy in the entire world, I will not teach you to out athletic people. All right? And I'm still the champion. All right, so I keep my lead hand in front of my leg because what I'm doing is I'm setting a trap. Okay? If this guy is unaware, he just comes in and he shoots doubles. So there are guys like that, all right? He's sitting on the side, like, oh shoot, this double's so fucking hard. All right? He's got his singlet on, all right? You can see his beans and Frank's all mixed up down there. And you're like, bro, don't do that. His dad's like, man, you don't get this takedown. I'm not strong enough to love you anymore. All right. Fuck. All right. So if that guy is in front of you and he's just thinking, I'm gonna shoot this double, then that's what this hand is here for. I'm gonna make you fight me technically, or I'm gonna make you pay. And so if he takes a shot on this leg here, all right, I do what's called a down block. And that is I create distance between my arm and my leg. Okay? So I'm here. If I keep it here and he takes a shot and I create no distance, okay, up. Boy, that's, then you guys look at me as you go down. I did the arm thing, sensei. I did the arm thing and look what happened. Everything you said is a lie. Okay? So, the whole point of this is a down block. Now we all know what a sprawl is, right? Everyone knows sprawl and brawl, sprawl and brawl. The down block is the step before you sprawl, because if every time he makes a jerking motion I sprawl, all right, this can be problematic for me. You see? All right, so I've got to have a step in between, all right, jerky motion and sprawl, and that's called the down block. Hi. And so from here, my lead hand is down, he takes the shot, I down block. Now if he is just like, Dad, love me, now I can start thinking about the sprawl. You see that? Okay? Let's turn this way. So my down block, all right? And if I need to, I sprawl. Okay? Make sense? Okay? Why is this the first thing I teach you in wrestling? Has anyone figured it out? Yeah, if I can keep him off my legs, I can keep it technical. All right? If I can keep him off my legs, then I don't start off on defense. All right? I can teach you how to stop takedowns, and even more so, I can teach you how to compromise their takedown. Okay? But I want to give myself every advantage. Just because I can win the race and start 10 yards back doesn't mean I want to start 10 yards back. All right? So, here, he takes his shot. I separate my legs. He continues to drive. I can sprawl out. And in wrestling, this is bad. In jiu-jitsu, this can be fight ending. All right? If I can get on top of him like that, and I have a good submission set, I can win the fight off of that shot. It happens all the time. It's what makes jiu-jitsu so hesitant to shoot. Okay? So, how do we take a shot so that you can have the other side of this? All right? What's a shot? What am I doing at its core level?
Closing the distance.
Closing the distance. Thank you. That's it. I'm just closing the distance. There's things that I account for, because if he's in a wrestling stance and I go really fast, is this doing anything for me here? No? Well, just made Guy happy there, but I don't really care if Guy's happy. Right? All right. So before I close the distance, I want to be lower than him. Okay? I want to be lower than him. So I lower here because I want to beat his head and his hands. So I want to get to his legs. But if I come down here and all my weight's on the front foot, what's going to happen here?
You're never going to go anywhere.
I'm not going to go anywhere. All right? I'm just going to plop down in front of him. All right? So when I lower my level, my weight's on the back foot. And now I can close the distance and take my shot. All right? Guys, I show up on my knees. All right? It's going to go counterintuitive to a lot of us do, but I tell you right now, showing up on your knees is a better way to roll. Just have to take it. Don't worry about it or not. Okay? So, basics of the shot, lower your level, take your step, but what we're really drilling is what? Thank you. The down block. Okay, you have to have that in your game or you're poopy. Okay? Don't be poopy. Let's do it. Come on, girl. You need this.
Oh, my Lord.
All right, I'm using my hand to buy my leg time so that I can create this separation. You understand? If I want to count, if he takes a shot here and I go boom and I just lift him off my leg, I'll tell you, I can do it sometimes when it's like a tiny guy. All right? But if he takes that shot and I'm serious about this, boom! You see how I fight to get that leg back? Now, if I don't use my arm, it goes bad. So when he takes that shot, I need the counter pressure of my arm so that I can spread it out, get my legs away from him. Does that make sense? Let's do it. Come on. Why is my lower back mad at me? Oh. Maybe you need a new boyfriend. Well, you need a new husband. Really, this one's broke.
Right in my ear, too.
I think he's.
What do you mean so? How was it a living? Oh. Yes, Timmy, much better.
Kirk,
Yeah.
I was protecting my lead leg and she went for my other one. Like I did the thing and she just switched.
So what did you do? What did you do with that leg then? What is a sprawl? Show me a sprawl. Okay, now show me a down block.
Hey kids, you're either in this room or in the
There
other
you go.
room. You're
So
not
now show me a
switching.
down block and then a sprawl. Okay? Did I answer your question? Are you sure?
I guess so.
So which leg is she going to connect to first? And if she goes for the back leg, I'll tell you it's a misfire. But if I need to, I'm going to sprawl both legs back, not just one. The down block is just there for
Oh, no.
take a shot, and then I want you to down block and sprawl.
Yeah.
You're shooting up.
You just don't want to throw both legs back at the beginning because if she's just tricking you, kick, fight, Timmy. Thank you.
That was good.
If you don't come out to the angle, Aaron, that's always going to be hard. I need to see your butt crack from right there. Okay? If you don't come out at 90, you're gonna be sad faced a lot.
Hey, those aren't toys.
You have nothing but sweet in here. That's why you're having to use those attacks. Do you see what I'm saying? If that arm is not there, there's no counter pressure, you're just going to fall over 1,000 times. Alright, I got a tinkle. And then I need to go to the back store.
The back scar?
The back store.
Sorry, to have a back scar? Is there a knee scar?
That's
Totally personal.
That's my next stop.
Thank you.
When I have it on your
face.
karate kick.
Honestly, if I'm in the middle of that and I kick, I'm gonna hit somebody.
Keep pulling, keep going.
Yeah. Oh god.
You could totally see me in the
Hey, and
camera.
then kick in the face, they're gonna kill you.
Listen, you could totally see me in the camera.
Cycling with them too, so they get out of it.
Reshoot on you?
I'm doing this one or
2-2 is fine, yeah.
That's a pretty good hold on it.
I'll make a jar to get all these dust mites.
Gross.
Jim does it in the woods.
Yeah, Tim's gross.
What's that?
Aha!
Sure. I don't believe you.
Tim does what?
Weirdo.
Jim does a lot of things. That's true.
Hey, maybe you could do that, and then you can put it by Maddie's bed, and maybe she'll leave.
Yeah.
You just gross her out, you know? That'd be an option. Just be the grosser guy.
Go ahead.
I thought you'd give me some life advice.
See? It's a foolproof plan. You're welcome. Don't say I never helped you.
Now I gotta do it.
Soft, isn't it?
Yeah. What is your stance use like? Oh, okay.
If someone gets past your leg or past your arms, Julian, that's when we think about creating hooks
Yeah.
and reinforcements. Excellent. They're doing it right, y'all. That's the only way you're going to get it in your subconscious. Okay? Is take the shot. Learn how to take a shot.
Oh shit.
Good. All right.
Oh, well.
Have some knowledge.
All right, guys. So, no, it's starting to look better. I should have done that a while back. Just focus on that movement alone. It's really important because now, if I have that threat there, I will not shoot on somebody who's standing like that. Okay? Forgive me, my lower back is trying to fly out. So, if I come here and I see a guy standing like this, I will not shoot on that arm. Why? You guys are feeling it, right? It's a bait. It's a bait. It's a trick. It's a trap. In wrestling, you might be able to sit out, okay, but I wouldn't count on it. All right. In jiu-jitsu, it's fatal. Okay, because they're going to go straight into a submission series from there. They're going to run to your back. They're going to do all kinds of things. Now, that being said, when I can take the threat of the leg attack and use it as a trap, all right, now I can start to actually wrestle with some purpose. All right, now I can look for technique that allows me to connect to them in a meaningful way, in a way that I can start to predict responses. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah. All right. So, who's not sweating?
Me.
Just literally told us to sweat.
Come on.
Alright.
I'll deal with girl sweat.
I'm not offended by that.
Huh?
I'm not offended by that.
I know.
I'm stupid.
So, when I'm in this position, my hand is covering my lead leg here. All right. The temptation is that even if he doesn't take a shot initially, what he's going to do is he's going to start messing. He's going to try and collar tie and do a lot of things. And again, if I take my attention off of that, all of a sudden I'm missing the whole point of that leg or that arm. Okay. So, but there is a time that you will have to eventually remove it. All right. So you'll have to replace it with something. So if he were to take a shot here and it's a little bit shallow and I was able to generate an underhook off of it, this is something that could replace that hand. You see what I'm saying? Okay? If I have a good established collar tie here, all right, if I snap and bang it into a collar tie here, all right, if he tries to take a shot now, I match his level and I keep him off of me with the frame. You understand? But the minute this hand leaves this leg, I've got to have some way to stop the shot. Does that make sense? Okay? What this allows me to do is if I'm in a jiu-jitsu tournament especially, all right, and I get the guys and they kind of stand like this a lot of times, especially in the lower ranks. Okay? Is if he stands up too high here, help him down. Okay? Yeah. But you have to be able to recognize that that would be something to shoot on because his hand's not under there. His hand's not blocking that lead leg. Okay? If you just shoot on whatever, you're gonna have a bad time. And so if I rely on just having the collar tie battle between me and him, this is mind numbing when I see this. Okay? Mind numbing, because it's a stalemate that favors the stronger, faster guy. Okay, so don't be happy. If someone's hand is on my head, I do everything I can to get it off. Alright? Whether I have the collar tie, he has the collar tie, I do everything I can to get that thing off of my head. Stop what you're doing and get that hand off your head. Okay? Alright, so our stance. We want to be low. How low?
Lower than them.
Lower than them, just slightly. Okay. Now, if we get into a battle of lowness, all right, there is a limit to the lowness. All right, so I'll come in here. I can only go knee to chest. Okay. Now, I'd like to demonstrate this, but I'm pretty sure my back will give out and I will be on the ground. All right. So that's about as low as you can get here. All right. But if you want to know if you're low enough, check. Look at them. All right. Another way to check is, can I easily reach down and touch? Okay. Can I easily reach down and touch? That's how low you should be. Is this going to tax your quads and your hands and your booty? Yeah. Yes. If I get tired, I go, just wait what happens when you take the shot underneath you, how tired you're going to be when he smashes you into the ground like a tit peg. Okay? Alright, so my lead hand's down, so what do I do with this hand? Here's the good news. It's my fuck you hand. Okay? This hand is free to become a probe. Alright? Alright? Not always anally, but a probe, nonetheless. Alright? So, I'm now, because if he takes a shot at any time, I don't give a shit. Alright? It's a trick. It's a trap. Now be the time.
No.
You can try to do a wolf for me. I'll find
I want that responsibility.
Alright, so from here, alright, I use this hand. Personally, if I get a guy who's like staying out, I'll fuck with his face. Okay? So, yeah, look, if you can get away with eye pokes, I'd do it, but don't, you know? You get that look, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna poke you in your stupid eyeball. Alright? So, my hands down, foreheads are pretty good. Okay? Foreheads are pretty good. Yeah, you don't like it. Foreheads are pretty good. So I can use that if he doesn't have, if he's like ginger about getting the hand off his head, that's great. Alright, now I've got my connection. Alright, now I can start thinking about doing things. Okay? But I don't want you relying on the collar tie. I want you to come in your stance, and what's going to happen is he's going to reach out too. That's why 2 and 1s are so important. Okay? We're not going over that today. I'm kind of giving you a prelude to the rest of the week. All right? What was today about? Down block.
Down block and sprawl.
Down block and sprawl. What else? What was the main thing, really?
Posture. Oh, sorry.
Stance. Stance. Okay? Stance, stance, stance. This is not wrestling. This is not wrestling.
Pro wrestling.
That is the appropriate response.
That's fine.
That's what we're teaching as fundamentals next week, how to kick people in the balls.
Yeah. Oh, there's a group in China that like dig that stuff. So.
Iron balls and kick.
Like a guy like
train.
Step on my kids.
huh?
Yeah, there's showers months that trains will like get kicked in the testicles and.
Oh, it's to the point where they can't strike each other hard enough, so they create battering rams.
Yeah.
And they sit there and
They'll like hang things off their neck and.
Battering,
throat and all kind of weird stuff.
yeah, they'll hang shit off their testicles and stuff, and they stand between rocks and take pictures and
All
shit.
kind of stuff, yeah.
That's what happens when you got like good TV and shit. You
You
just
never watched me now.
hang things off your.
Yeah,
Have you
it's
ever seen Johnny
interesting, but
English?
it's like.
Huh?
Have you ever seen Johnny?
I guess.
Anyway, all right, guys, let's roll. Okay, let's roll. Hey, pro tip, if you wrestle in your rolls, and most of you should have developed that point, don't post your feet to the ground. All right, I always say balls to your feet, because if I post here and he pushes me, and I try to stay up, look, where's the twisting happening here?
Me.
Okay, now if he pushes me and I'm on the balls of my feet, then the balls of my feet, you see that? That's where most injuries. Sometimes I'll look over and guys are playing like this.
Just look at it.
Like right now, and I'll be like, what are you doing? And they'll go, it doesn't hurt. No, not yet. You're not crippled yet. You're correct. I'm trying to prevent that from happening. Okay, so line your hips, your knees, and your feet all in the same direction. I don't want to be like this. Okay? All right? I don't care how flexible you are. Okay? Because there are limits. I've had more flexible students, and they still tap to my heel hooks. All right. Huh?
I'm pretty flexible. I've had a whole knee injury from it, so.
All right, guys, there are 2 mats. They can explain how many people should go.
Everyone?
I've been getting better at that.
I swear to God, if it's everyone again,
I'm working on getting the other foot up.
Shit, what's not?
It'll come with time.
Smart.
Really?
Yeah, like this, you know,
Yeah.
the butterfly where you just.
Started one here,
Yeah, doing that.
stretching it, and then doing things in this.
I'll sit there like.
But I'm working on getting this foot up. You know, it'll come with time.
I don't know if I'm gonna go back to school.
It'll come with time.
All right, girls, come on.
That's,
Yeah, it'll come with time.
I'll turn it off.